Welcome once again to another amazing episode on Mother's Haven podcast. We have an epic guest, someone who is indeed an Amazon, someone who has actually been blessed by God and has had a beautiful journey through marriage and motherhood and parenting. She's going to be telling us a little bit about herself, as always, and then we'll load her with as much questions as we can. So the next voice to be hearing will be that of our amazing guest. So please tell us about yourself.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I feel like really honored to be sharing my story. Like I said earlier, I'm doing this for the first time really, and I'm happy to be doing this. My name is Kemi Fayeshe. Yeah, it's Fayeshe, not Fayoshe. Who asked me Fayese. Yes. Originally, I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer, but then right now, I'm more into social entrepreneurship. I volunteer for NGOs. I have mine, mommies.com, a group of intentional mothers where we come together to share insights and tips on intentional parenting. I lecture at the Lagos State Polytechnic where I teach law. Yes. Married to Joseph and we have two amazing children. Yes, that's it.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to meet you. And we are super excited on Mother's Haven podcast to host such an amazing personality. So, getting into it, we'll be talking a bit about the different seasons that women actually go through. And personally, for you, your own experience, how has life been for you? What are the major seasons that you have actually had to go through? Rough, tough, and difficult seasons. Basically, which of these experiences would you like to share with our listeners that they can connect with and learn from?
Okay, as women, generally we go through different phases of life, and like I've learned, my seasons is not really different from most other people's own. Like every one of us have gone through, and if you look at it, some of us, like as mothers, we are going through almost the same thing, just that because we've not really gotten together to talk about it. But at the end of the day, you find out that, wow, mine, yes, I also went through this, I'm also going through that. So for me, I think my own season have been like from marriage, entering a marriage. I won't say I didn't marry too young. I just married normal age. Like I married at 29, which I feel is okay. But then sometimes you just feel that you know some things, but the knowledge you have is not the residual knowledge. You don't call something residual knowledge, just those things that you have picked here and there, and you feel that I can do this thing perfectly well. And you just jump into this thing without coaching, no counseling as it is. Of course, with all this marriage counseling, they'll tell you have to be a good mother, you have to be a good wife, rather, what the things you do. But then when you enter into it, that's when you know that, wow, life is actually, this thing is more than what they actually told us, because you are right here experiencing it. And I'll say that for me, getting married, then changing locations was one time in my life that I felt I had it all together, but then I found out that I did not have it at all, not talk of all together. I got married in 2015. I was in Ibadan practicing my law and living the baby girl life that I've always like, yeah, this is the life. I was making my own money, independent, and I was looking forward to, this. But then when I had to choose between staying in Ibadan and having a marriage where we're going to be doing the weekend thingy, or I was like, well, let me make the sacrifice. I moved to Lagos where my husband is working. At that time, it was any more than me. So it's just natural that I move. And I'm getting to Lagos, it was a different story. It was like I was thrown into a really big ocean. I didn't even know where to turn to. Lagos was looking like New York, really large. I didn't know anywhere in Lagos. I didn't, going out was not even there for me. I was not even part of it. I could not even go out. That was the truth. I didn't know anywhere. Every other person that I knew in Lagos were working. So I was always just at home. I didn't have a job, obviously. I just moved, nobody. I started looking all over for a job. I was bored. I was disoriented, from the person going Harmon to 5, handling briefs, going to court and all that. And here I am. I wake up on a Monday morning and I'm not going anywhere. I don't even know what to do next. Or the trying time. Of course, I got a job later, and I picked it up again. Like, yeah, this is it. This is the life. I got a job later, but then it wasn't the life I was used to. Commuting almost 1.5 hours every day before you get to work, and you have to commute back endless hours inside traffic, Lagos traffic. And I'm like, welcome to Lagos. This is how we do it. Like, what? And I'm inside traffic from 9 p.m. at night. I am sitting on Third Mainland Bridge. And I'm like, God, how? But then, something has to give now. And so I was doing it until finally 2 years later, I took in. And, I've been expecting, was waiting on God for a baby and all that. After my marriage, and 2 years later, I got this pregnancy that everybody, we have prayed, we have done so many things. In fact, I already succumbed to the pressure of going to see a gynae. You do all those fertility tests, like, is there anything wrong with anybody? I was already on that journey. It was even that week when I had my first gynae appointment. I was just written out some number of tests and all that. So to go and do, I found out that I was pregnant. God, thank you. No more tests. But the job I was doing was not giving me any leeway. My first month of pregnancy was tough. The first trimester, I'll be in course and I'll have saliva in my mouth. And I'll be wondering, how do I even stand up to make an appearance with saliva in my mouth? I was salivating. I was having nausea. Before I enter court, I have vomited like once or twice. Enter court. When the court is too cold, I'll run out again. So when I have to talk to myself, you need to decide. Then the traffic again, sit down in traffic. And most of those times, the funny thing was, I have to sit by the window when I'm coming back from work so that I can take fresh air. If I have to spit out, I have to do that. Was terrible. It was really terrible. So I have to stop the job. I have to go and stay at home and focus on carrying my pregnancy to term and plan how to be a good mother. Of course, I had the baby. I resigned from my job, which I did painfully because I was back to where I left. I didn't like it at all. But then I was always really ill. All through my pregnancy, 9 months, I was ill almost all through. So if I didn't have time to think about the job I left, I was always ill. But when I had my baby, that was another trying time. I didn't even know what to do with this child. It was just one challenge to the other. Infection was we're always going to treat one infection or the other. Am I a bad mom? Am I not hygienic enough? What is causing infection? I started hiring people to come and clean the house back to her every time, sterilizing everything sterilizable, came up with different things. She had pneumonia, is that, and it was tough for me. But then I started reading. Like, okay, what is even happening? Is it this bad? I thought I know how to take care of children. I've always been around children. I'm a children's church person, children's department. I've worked in children's department like all my life, teenage years and all that. I like babies, but this is my own baby. I don't even know what to do with this child. He's always crying. I'm always going to the hospital, going to do checkups and all that. So I started reading. And I started discovering that all these things happening, they have solutions. First and foremost, I have to work on myself first. What kind of person, my own personality, kind of person, over the kind of child I have, his personality trait. I know I got into all that, but those times were, looking back now, there used to be times where I dreaded, but looking back now, I feel it right now that those were times that God was really telling me something, but I didn't really understand on time. But thank God that finally I actually understood. Those were trying times in quotes, because that was not me. The me was out there doing my thing, independent and all that. But here I am, grounded in the real sense of the word. And I have to sit down with myself, discover myself all over again. Discover myself, discover my child, discover my partner. Because as a woman, you have a child and you still have a man. You're a mother and you're also a wife. And both responsibility, society expects you to be excellent in both. You don't even have an excuse. Like that's because you have a child that you can't. So yeah, those were times when I didn't know what I was doing. Purpose was looking really dicey. But then God found me, God helped me, and here I am today. Wow.
Wow, wow. What a journey. That was an incredible experiential knowledge of marriage and parenting and all. And I could draw basic learning points from the fact that you went for knowledge and you made sacrifices. The one thing that I always say is, in as much as you're a mother, you will definitely still have to make sacrifices. But at the end of the day, you still have to find yourself. And I like how you were able to represent that in your journey. And you went for knowledge when you discovered that your child was always falling ill, having infections and all. You went out for knowledge. You went out to seek the truth on how you can actually, bring a lasting solution to the issues that you were actually going through. So which just reminds us that every season actually comes with its solutions. Let me put it in that way. Every season actually comes with its own wisdom that we actually have to search for and take actions with, because it was not enough for you to even seek the knowledge. You had to act on it for you to now be able to get results and now move on to the next chapter of your life at the various stages. And you were also particular about decision making when you had to leave your job to choose the family front, when you had to leave your comfort zone in Ibadan to come to Lagos and Lagos
That's my comfort zone.
Exactly. So you were very, very specific about the decisions that you were making. I read somewhere that I think it was John Obidi that said we lose more opportunities when we don't make decisions, or when we are clouded with indecisions, than the wrong decisions that we actually make. So it's better to even make more wrong decisions than to even have indecisions. So at every point in time, we must always take that decision, make up your mind, take up the sacrifice, and find your way through it. Because most of the time, I understand, especially women like us that have always have this career mindset, the 9 to 5 mindset, and then you now have to now become a stay-at-home mom, or you now have to sacrifice that season of your life. In as much as we know that, okay, yes, the function of time, over time it will get better, over time we can go back to work. So at that season, at that period, it doesn't always feel that way. It doesn't always feel, knowing that, okay, in time it will get better is not usually quite comforting at that point in time. So you just really have to know what works for you. You have to get that knowledge that can help you to drive through that particular season. And we see that a lot from your experience. So now we're listening to your story. We have been inspired by your story. Now I want you to bring us to where you are now, which is your place of clarity, your place of settlement, your place of understanding. What will you say are the key things that helped you to be able to move from where you were to where you are now? I know you're the founder of Mommies.com, a wonderful tribe that has been birthed in one of your seasons. So how did you transition? How was the transition? I'm asking a lot of questions in one, don't mind me.
Yeah.
How has the transition been? What are the things that helped you to transition? And what are the lessons that other mothers can learn that they can use to birth great things, great visions from their season based on your own experiential knowledge?
Yeah, thank you so much. This is, for me, like I said, I'm doing this for the first time, and like as I'm talking, I'm also hearing myself say all these things, and I can't but help tell myself that, wow, Kemi, you've come far. Of course, not as far as maybe I would have liked. I can do better, but then there's something my pastor would say that you're not where you used to be. And I really want to appreciate you for making me do this. This is me coming out of my comfort zone to really say this, okay? I think the first thing that actually helped me from the things I've said is self-discovery, first and foremost. You have to discover yourself, discover purpose. For some of us, purpose is not only you're out there, you're changing the world, your podiums and all that. Even purpose, it can be as little as finding yourself, finding your own space. What are you good at doing? What is the thing that can work for you? It doesn't have to be, it's not always in the really huge things. And first thing for me was self-discovery. The things I thought I knew about myself before I got married. Now I am joined to somebody. Now I have a responsibility, a wife, then a mom, a daughter-in-law, a sister-in-law, and all that. So there's so many things, and with that, I wanted to keep my career. So I had to sit down and discover myself afresh. Of course, with the help of the Holy Spirit. God, you need to help me. I'm in a strange land, because for me that time Lagos was a strange land. I had to sit down prayerfully. What am I? Who am I? Because I'm seeing myself in this new climate. I'm like, so bad to buy me, like really. But then God helped me. I had to rediscover myself, discover my strength. And I found out that the things I thought were even my strength was a bit of agidi, stubbornness that was really fueling it initially. Do you understand? So like, okay, Kemi, this is who you are in God. And I was writing it down. Then I showed you my journal from 2018, 15, and at times I had to go and revisit those things that I wrote down. First thing was self-discovery. I have to discover myself anew. Because the truth of the matter is, when we talk about emotional intelligence, you have to be able to know yourself first, the things that work for you. Even before you can be a good mother, before you can be a good wife, you have to be good to yourself first. Know yourself, know your worth, know your capacity, know your capabilities. Then know your incapacity too. As much as I'm knowing my capabilities, know the things that know where you can. This is where I can stop. This is how far I can go. I'm not trying to impress anybody. When we get to this place, sister, please, I'm not going again. This is how far I can go. You understand? This is my strength. These are my weaknesses. Okay, this one I can work on it. This one, you have to take me as I am, and all that. For me, was self-discovery first, then comparison. In my journey of self-discovery, I found out that comparison is a thief of joy. And Scripture says that those that compare themselves to themselves are not wise. And that is one thing, even to today, comparison is a killer of joy, because you just look at it and you're like, this person is here, this person is there. Even as a mother, my first child, I don't like calling anybody, I don't call children, I don't call any child a late bloomer, because I don't believe any child is a late bloomer. Every child just has his or her own time to do things. My first child is a boy, and most of his milestones were things he achieved a bit later than some other children that I had around me at that time. I'll see people and I'll see they are 1 year already doing things, and my child is not doing it yet. And I'm like, What's wrong with this boy? In fact, he's now 5 years old. And in fact, before he started talking, it took us time. We're thinking, Abi, is he okay? This boy is not talking. If he started school, even in school, they would say, this boy is not saying anything. What is happening? But then, his teachers thank God for the kind of school he is now. It's just like, don't worry, you'll be fine. He responds. I know comparing your marriage to somebody else, comparing your journey to somebody else. I have to get to that point. I have to tell myself, Kemi, this is your journey. Own it. It's nobody's life. Stay on your own course, on your own lane, and walk in it. And when I'm going, and there are days where I'm really down, and it happens to even the best of us, they are just thinking, hey, what is happening? And you will come again and comfort you. Get up. Oh yeah. It's your own journey. Own it. Don't look left, don't look right. Even if you have to look left, just to say, hello, how are you? You are not asking them what is happening. You're on your own journey. Comparison. I have to stop comparing myself. Another thing is self-love, which is important. And I feel this is one thing at mommies.com that we tell ourselves: a happy mom raising happy children. If you are not happy, there's really nothing you can do. If you are not happy, you cannot be a good wife. If you are not happy, you cannot be a happy worker. If you are not happy, you cannot be a good friend. You cannot even be a good mom. You have to be happy. And happiness is not even external. It's not the things you can see. It's from inside of you, appreciating the little things of life. I will tell ourselves we're happy moms raising happy children. You create a happy atmosphere around you, around your children. That is how they can approach you and say, Mommy, let's play. Mommy, I want to tell you something. Your home is happy. The joy of the Lord radiates. But if you are this person that is always, the problem of life is so much on your head, depression and everything, self-love, and that's the way self-love starts. I love my children, I love my husband, but people, I have my own life. So I hate you people are the number one. People, like, I put you first, I put after God, but at the same time, I am also important to me. So self-love, times like today is all about mommy. I call my girlfriends, sis, let's go out, please. I look for babysitter, all of us, let's go for babysitter. This night is for us mommies. We're just going to go and chill. There was one day I found myself and my friends, we just went somewhere on the island, and we're just on the road at our age and shoe size, dancing, singing, miming, and loving, no children, nothing. Self-love, go our own, and we went out. Self-love, love yourself, treat yourself, the little things. Every time, as a first-time mom, that time, when I have small money, I want to buy things for Bobo. Hey, this one is that one. Sometimes have money and buy yourself clothes too. As mothers, some of us, we are still wearing the same underwear for years because we just don't care. As long as our children are fine, mommy, go shopping, at least splurge. Sometimes you need to splurge on yourself. It's not a crime. You are doing the work. The things you feel like eating, of course, me, I'm on diet, like healthy living and all that, but there are some days I don't want to be healthy, please. I also want to eat cake and donuts. And so self-love. Yeah, today, no smoothie today. Today is Coke and Fanta and a bottle of wine. Please, self-love, yes. And of course, good relationships. I've enjoyed the power of friendship, strong good people around me. I don't keep quiet and I don't have secrets. Nothing is too for me. I feel my life, God is making me. I don't have secrets. My life is, as much as I set boundaries, and I like to do that a lot, but then it's not that deep, sincerely. I have good friends, people that can hold your hands. Sometimes I don't feel like I carry my children, like go and stay with this person, just go and play for 2 hours in this person's house, go for a play date, and I'm sure, like I am 100% sure that these people are taking care of them like their own. People that I can call in the middle of the night, say, sis, wake up, we want to pray. The people that friendship, good ones, and it came out of a place of being vulnerable. The Bible says that he must have a friend, must also show himself friendly. So God has brought relationships my way When I came to Lagos, like I said, I thought it was just me in this world. I felt lost. But God sent saviors from Zion, friends, put me in good families, people that in my wildest, I'm like, I wouldn't have even met something like this. And God is still doing that in me every day. So good friendships. And like we said today, owning each season that we come into, don't feel like, is this only me? No. As a mother, you are a mother today. I still a home mom now. That season, in fact, so like looking at it, I'm like, maybe I should just go back to 4 years ago. The things I know now. If it was that 4 years I knew it, I would have enjoyed myself. But that time was a lot of trouble because I didn't even understand. But whatever season you find yourself, just own it. My baby was 1 year old 5 years ago, right? Now he's 5. All those challenges, just memories now. Memories. I remembered when the boy now is not the one even giving me instruction. Mommy, don't. And I'm like, so you that have been thinking this one is not touching, that one is not working, he's not eating. Now he's one that can eat the house down. He's one that will say, I want so. And I tell myself that the best day of my life will be the day my son will look at me and say, Mommy, can I have this? Because he doesn't want to eat it. He didn't used to want like that type. Nothing. Just leave him. Just giving him cereal. Morning, afternoon, night. Whether it's Indomie or Golden. I'm like, okay, what kind of life is this? But today, he hits everything. So only hours because no season lasts forever. And even as a mother, like my mentor would say, Pastor Anu Akinola would say that you only have 18 years with these children. Your 19th year is your report card year. By age 18, they are leaving. So by age 19, you collect your report card of your modeling report card. So it will pass very swiftly. So this time, anytime, anywhere you find yourself, any space you have, own it, enjoy it, learn all the lessons available. And that is what I am doing right now. And like I said initially, I'm not that confused mom anymore. I'm not that confused wife anymore. I'm not, I can boldly say I moved from stage A to stage B to stage C. I can record my processes in God, and I can look back and say, I've grown, I've learned. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but then compared to where I'm coming from, as this is a lot, but then thank God for growth. Thank God for growth. Yeah.
Wow. I'm so wowed. Like, okay, so now let me start from where we're wrapping it up. When you were talking about the different seasons and how there's wisdom in every season, like I said. There's wisdom in my wounds, yes. And then you spoke about the key factors. So I'm just going to mention them. The first one you spoke about was self-discovery, which I cannot overemphasize. Every of our speakers and guests have always spoken about people, women, mothers, discover yourself outside of your roles. It is very, very important. Don't get lost in the activities. Don't get lost in the patterns. Don't get lost in your roles as a mother. You as a person is first, and you must discover who you are. And you said own it, own your journey. Most of the time we go through these experiences and sometimes you're like, God, why me? Why must this happen? Or you seem to be like, no, this thing shouldn't happen to me. I should know better. But it's one thing to understand that for every season that you go through, there's actually a lesson to you to learn from it and to replicate teaching that knowledge to someone else. You talked about saying no to comparison. It's very important, especially in this day and age, in this generation where people even compare their lives with social media examples. It's very, very important that you do not compare yourself, you do not compare your children, you do not compare your spouses, you do not compare your family or your background or your financial status with anything. You should stay true to yourself. You mentioned self-love. I was about to shout loud it, let the mothers hear. It's not only the children that you should buy things for. Go shopping, plan vacation for yourself alone. It's very, very important. save towards it, enjoy yourself. I love the example you gave. You went out with your friends without the children. So many mothers be feeling guilty that they are having fun without their children. No, it is actually very important that you stay whole to yourself and you love yourself, give yourself all that you desire. And then you mentioned good relationships. Oh God, I so love that, because you need to understand the place of collaboration, you need to understand the place of networking, you need to understand the place of true friendships. These are great pillars that actually help you in your journey, in your seasons, and it helps you to accelerate faster. Like you move from one difficult season faster into the next. You're having issues with appetite with your children, you connect with true friends who have gone through that. They can just tell you, this is what I did, this is what I did, this is what I did, and then you move on to the next phase, and then you accelerate a lot much faster. So we should invest in our relationship. We should be intentional, just like you said. Be intentional about your relationship. If you have to learn how to network, if you have to learn how to make good friends, quality tribes, you should actually do that. If you have to pay your way through, please go ahead and get into good relationships. And you mentioned something, although very likely, but something I'm also very passionate about: setting boundaries. Setting boundaries. As mothers, you have to set boundaries for your children, your spouse, your environment. You have to set boundaries. And thank you so much. Like, it's really been a very enlightening session. It's been an amazing session. So just quickly, final words, and how can my listeners connect with you? How can they reach out to you and be able to connect with you, especially if they share similar convictions with you?
All right. Wow, what a good time talking. Thank you so much once again. And I'm going to say thank you after this. Like, thank you for making me do this. Once again, my name is Kemi Fayeshe. I am the convener of Mommies.com, a group of intentional moms. We are happy moms raising happy children. So my Instagram handle is at Kemi Fayeshe, just at Kemi Fayeshe. And of course, we have a WhatsApp group. I'm going to probably drop my number here with our anchor or something, so that of course she can share. She has my permission to share, where we have a group on WhatsApp where we meet, we deliberate. It's an informal group, as it were. We don't have no other person now, no rigid rules. We are just happy moms celebrating each other, celebrating our children, celebrating our small wins, our little wins, our big wins, because we know from the small wins, the big ones will come. Yes, so you can look me up on Instagram, Kemi Fayeshe, then Facebook, still Kemi Fayeshe. Then my number on WhatsApp is 080 60 94 773. I can say that again, 080 60 94 773. Just send me a message on Instagram, send me a DM, and voila, just join the group. No money, you don't have to pay. Just come with the open heart of being an intentional mom, really. All you need is an open heart. Just an open heart. Yeah. An open heart.
Thank you so much. Thank you for opening your doors to my listeners. Thank you. We're really blessed to have you, and we're excited, and we definitely reach out as much as we can. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you.